Welcome to South Texas. This week we're at Choke Canyon State Park, halfway between San Antonio and Corpus Christi.
Is it really a canyon? We're going to answer that question and many more, so stick around as we show you around Choke Canyon State Park.
Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm Stacy.
I'm Tom, and we're RV Texas, y'all.
We are native Texans and full-time RVers who are all about exploring the great state of Texas and beyond, one campground at a time. We're on a mission to experience life, not just live it, and we're bringing you along for the fun.
In 2018, we sold our house, our business, and got rid of most everything we owned to hit the road and see America. Our home is a 33-foot RV named Freedom. We installed an extreme solar and lithium setup, so now we can just about live anywhere with our dog Star and our cat Astro.
Every day is a new adventure, so join us as we RV America, y'all.
I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. 'Cause there's so many ways that I want to carve out our names, board a last minute plane, just us two. We can chase the sun as it sets in the mountains, find luck like a bet in Greek fountains, or lay lazy in bed with your head on my chest. I hope you don't mind if I say that I love you. Every day another I do, 'cause you know I do, I do, I do. I hope you can hear every note that my heart sings, like a choir of bells, how they all ring. Oh, can't you tell, neath the timpani swells and heartstrings, there's a place deep in our hearts where it matters. We can stay there forever and after, written in stars right above where we are.
So that's a first. We rode our e-bikes up to the headquarters here at Choke Canyon State Park. It was 2.35 miles from our campsite. We ran into a little bit of headwind, so it was nice having that assist. And yeah, we're gonna go check out the headquarters and see what's going on.
I do.
So when you're here, you need to come by the Nature Center. You will find it next to the old gym, which is actually the high school gym from the town of Calliham, which the main town, the original town of Calliham, was flooded when they built the reservoir, but this is the old high school gym from there, one of the oldest structures in the area. The Nature Center here is hosted by Ranger Olivia, and she is full of knowledge about the area, the people who once lived here, the animals that live here today. There's some neat exhibits on the inside about all of that, and she's a wealth of knowledge for any questions that you have about the park in general. There's also sports courts here, which is super unusual for a state park, especially here in Texas. They were actually built by the state park system back in the 80s when the trend was to do more sports and active living type of activities in the parks. And these days the parks are moving more back toward the natural side of things. But this is really unique because there's a baseball field, there's a basketball court, there's a tennis court, there's a small soccer field, and what used to be a swimming pool is now their archery range. They actually give archery lessons here in the park. So tons to do to keep you active while you're at Choke Canyon.
Please excuse the wind here. I mean, it is crazy windy today. That's why we're not out in the kayaks today. But one awesome thing about the park here is, no, you can't rent a kayak here. No, but you can, well, you don't have to pay to rent the kayak here. That's what's awesome. You just have to go to the office and sign up. They give you a life jacket and everything, and a key to unlock that, and you have an hour and a half to get out on the lake. And the lake here is like a no-wake lake. There's no motorboats out here on this lake, so it's normally a nice, calm, easy lake. However, not today. This wind today is like 30 miles an hour, so it's a little rough out there today. That's why we didn't go. But what an amenity. How awesome. If you have a Texas State Parks pass, you can come on in and then make a whole day of it. You know, free kayaks, take some hikes and everything else. Yeah, cool day.
So this is 75 Acre Lake, and this is where you can borrow the kayaks. You can also fish here on this lake. There's a fishing pier right here, or you can take your kayak out or your borrowed kayak, or you can take a small boat with an electric trolling motor. That's the line that they draw for 75 Acre Lake. But you can fish in this lake, and because the lake is completely encompassed by the state park, you don't need a fishing license to fish in 75 Acre Lake. You do need a fishing license to fish from a boat in the reservoir on the other side of the park. So you have a couple of good options. There's also like a little scenic peninsula here with a picnic table that if you just want to sit out and watch the wildlife, waterfowl, and enjoy the day. We were really looking forward to kayaking today, but yeah, with 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, wasn't in the cards for us.
This is one of the day use areas here, as well as one of the pavilions that you can reserve. And one thing that I find very unique about this park is there are a ton of pavilions around, and different types, some indoor, some outdoor and indoor. I mean, even the old gymnasium at the old high school is rentable. You can rent that for, you know, whatever, maybe even a wedding. But it's very unique. They got so many different ones and different types here in this park with plenty, and I mean plenty of parking. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This place, you want to put together a family gathering, this would be a good park to do it.
So these are the bathrooms for the day use area that's over near the boat ramp. And yes, super clean, oh my gosh. And there are so many covered picnic tables in this area, and also the larger covered areas that you can rent for groups. I don't think we've seen that many of those, and there are a lot of bathrooms spread around this park as well, so it's super convenient if you're bringing a family out and you want to explore. Well done, Choke Canyon.
We're heading into the office to donate some oranges that we have left over, and they're kind of on the edge, but here they take donations for the bird sanctuary. We saw that they have a list of items at the bird sanctuary that they take for donations to feed the birds, and heck yeah, let's go in and give them to them.
So at Choke Canyon State Park, it's pretty unique. The bird sanctuary, or the bird blind, is actually right in the camping loop, which is really convenient. You can walk over anytime to see what's in. They feed these birds every morning, the rangers do. They ask the public not to feed them, but there is a list of items that the birds like to eat, that if you've got those items and you would like to donate them to the rangers to help feed the birds, you can, and you saw we did that with our oranges. Really pretty neat. I saw green jays in here. The other morning I sat in here most of the morning and saw green jays and red-winged blackbirds and some squirrels, cardinals. They've got a water feature, and this part of Texas is known for its birds. Everything from here south, basically, the Rio Grande Valley, South Texas. This is a major migration path for birds, and so like Lake Corpus Christi, which is an old video of ours, but they had a neat birding area, and that's not far from here. So that is one of the best things. If you're a birder or you want to get into birding, bring your binoculars, bring your camera. The park actually has a big stack, a packet like this, of the birds to look for while you're here. Pretty neat.
No birds currently.
No, I guess by this time in the evening they've already eaten and they are finding wherever they're going to spend the night.
Especially with the rain coming tonight.
There is rain coming tonight, so they're probably already hunkered down somewhere, but still a very neat feature. And they're seating around and picnic tables so that you can spend some time enjoying.
Okay, a little hiking, and we're gonna do this is the Green Jay Pass, and basically we've already been on this. It's just a little trail that takes us from the camping loop to the shelters.
Mm-hmm.
And
then from there we'll be able to pick up the other trails. There's no long trails here in the park, but you know, it's a beautiful little area, so we haven't done nearly all of them, so we're going to see how many we can hit today.
Yeah, and I'd say also that every trail we've been on so far, they're very easy, and most of them, they're bike trails as well. Mm-hmm. And they'd be easy bike trails. They are not hard, and you can almost probably even get handicap accessible on most of these trails too.
Yeah,
and they're very smooth.
We'll let you know if we find something different, but that so far seems to definitely be the case.
Yep, so let's go.
Star's ready. So now we're in they call it the shelter loop, but really it looks like they're all cabins. They all have air conditioning units in the windows, so that's great. But this is the restroom for this loop, and they do have showers and they're very clean. Our camping loop where the RVs and the tent camping is, or the RV loop, which also has tent camping for electric, there's additional tent camping in the park, but the loop that we're in also has a restroom with showers. And then where the other tent camping is, that does not have the power and everything with it, I went in those restrooms and it looks like those are just restrooms. I didn't see showers over there. So, but there are showers in the cabin loop and in the main camping loop.
Okay, now this shelter slash cabin, because it's got an AC right here on the water, beautiful site, is handicap accessible. It also has 2 lanes for cars. So, I mean, you could probably park 3 or 4 cars there. They probably have a limit of 2 cars, however. But if you had some people visit, they could possibly come here. They would have to pay day use or whatever, but they could probably park in that spot. And the fire pit and everything is raised. So that's pretty nice.
So here in the cabin loop, you'll find the trailhead for Emperor Run, and it's 0.4 miles. And if you go the entire distance, it takes you to the boat ramp. We did that the other day. We're not gonna go that way. We're actually gonna take Emperor Run down to where it intersects with Flycatcher Way. I had to make sure I had that name right. And this is one of the trails that Tom was talking about that's super accessible. Look how well this trail is laid out up here. It's nice and wide with a paved surface. Anybody could do this trail, super cool.
So this is about 5:30 and we love daylight savings time, and let's hope Congress passes that bill, because I'd love it to be daylight savings time all the time. It sounds like we're about to get that. But anyway, so we have these longer days. We like to take these early evening hikes. You know, one, because most of the time it's cooler, and also the wildlife tends to be out at, you know, early evenings. So we like that, as long as the mosquitoes stay away. Now, sometimes at certain times of year, you gotta watch the mosquitoes, but right now, they're not bad. And wow, it's beautiful being out this time of day. We're gonna keep moving.
So we reached the curve in the road on Emperor Run, where if we go to the right, we go to the boat ramp. If we go to the left, we go to Flycatcher Way, according to my trail map. Always get a trail map from the headquarters. Sometimes you have to ask for them, but they're so useful. So there's no sign here, but this would be Flycatcher Way. So let's check it out. Oh, here's Flycatcher Way. We found Flycatcher Way, woo! Just a little S up and around, and here we are. So you ready, Star? All right, next up, Flycatcher Way. Let's go.
Well, we've come to the end of Flycatcher Way, and it dead ends into Wren Lane, and we can either turn back around and go back, but you know what the heck. Let's go a little bit further, and we see that this goes down to what they call the dining hall and the dump station. So hey, let's go.
How far have we gone so far on your watch?
Okay, let me see. Oh, great. You had to catch me in that. I don't know the watch. There we go. 0.97 miles so far. So we're tearing it up here.
Continuing on Wren Lane.
Okay, so now this quickly turned into
Owl Hollow.
Owl Hollow, but all this is called basically the bird trail, right?
Exactly. Between, I guess, Wren Lane and Owl Hollow, you've got the bird trail.
None of these trails are very long so far.
No, and they're all easy.
Yes, they are.
Some of them, you know, like the Emperor Run was paved. The rest of them are not paved so far. but they're in pretty good shape for the most part. You don't have a lot of tree roots and stuff. Some of them are a little sandy, and some of them have a few ruts, but other than that, they're pretty nicely maintained.
Yeah, they are, and there's no guesswork involved. You know exactly where the trail goes.
I gotta get big props to the folks here at Choke Canyon State Park, because that is something we see all the time where they don't keep the trails marked very well, and these are exceptionally well marked.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Well marked, and it just, by the way they're cut and everything else.
And there was a bench back there.
Yeah, there was a bench back there if you need to take a break. However, we haven't gone that far. We'd have to really be out of shape if we needed to take a break at that point. But
you might want to sit and enjoy the nature on the bird trail.
Very, very good point.
But no, they're in great shape, and yeah, we're really enjoying them, even if they are very short.
For sure.
Well, I didn't see the dining hall that they were talking about, but we made it through the bird trail. We landed in the dump station.
So as we head back from our hike this evening, we're starting to see a little spring around here.
Woohoo! You know, when we got here on Monday, today is Sunday, when we got here last Monday, everything was pretty brown.
Yeah.
And now, every day, it seems like we're seeing more and more green start to pop up. So I think this park is about to undergo its spring transformation.
Absolutely. It's going to be really beautiful when it greens up, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I'm sure the birds are going to be happy.
I think the birds here are always happy.
Yeah. They have a couple of these fish cleaning stations, and they have what I think is one of the biggest parking lots for a boat dock area that I've ever seen. I mean, they're not gonna have to worry about parking around here.
No, and you never know what you're gonna see. We just saw a snowy egret go into the fish cleaning station and steal some fish parts and pieces and take it up into the tree.
Yeah, there were some blackbirds trying to eat on it, and he just took it away from them. Kind of cool, but here's this, here's the parking.
So here's the park's boat ramps, a very large area next to the very big parking lot that Tom talked about, but it is very steep. It's a lot steeper than all of the other boat ramps that we've seen at all of the other parks. So if you're bringing in your motorhome and you're going to back your boat in, just be aware of that. They say the lake right now, as we're here in March of 22, is about 17 feet below normal, but this is not a constant level lake. It rises and falls, so they've got floating docks and things down there. But yeah, we've seen a lot of people using this while we've been here. Boating is a huge thing out here in Choke Canyon.
So something different this time on this tour of this park is that again, a lot of the filming on the new bikes, riding around this park, and just to get to the front, you know, it was a good distance. So it was nice to have the bikes instead of have to take the Jeep, especially with the way those gas prices are going up right now. So it's pretty nice to be able to use a little battery power and our own power. And we also got some new backpacks here at the outlet store, Columbia Outlet Store, and they're the little water packs, and they worked out real good. Stacy wanted us to get new packs, and we got them, and I tell you what, I'm kind of liking those. I think those are a win. So yeah, beautiful day, nice to see the sunshine out, nice to have warm days and wearing shorts. Last week we were in sweats or long pants because it was cold, but not here. We're in the 80s today. I like that.
So welcome to our campsite here in Choke Canyon State Park. This is site number 106. It is a 30 and 50 amp electric with water site. There is a dump station in the park. And this has been a super nice stay for us. We have really enjoyed this site. There are some sites that are behind me about maybe 50 to 100 yards that have a waterfront view, which are really nice, and that we've seen the deer and the wild turkey walk through there each evening. We've really enjoyed this site because it's kind of private. We don't have anyone right to this side. And because we're just down from the bird sanctuaries, we get the birds coming and going from our trees when they're on their way to and from the bird sanctuaries. So that's been a ton of fun to watch. We've really enjoyed the shade structures in this park. The fire pits are also great. It's just overall been a really nice stay, very quiet, very enjoyable. Now, I know you're all wondering, Choke Canyon State Park, where's the canyon? Is there a canyon? Well, we've asked a lot of people, a lot of locals, we've asked the rangers. There's a lot of people who tell us flat out, I have no idea what the answer to that question is because I've not seen a canyon. Well, the story that seems to make the most sense that we've heard comes from the town of Three Rivers, which is about 11 miles from this park. And Three Rivers is called Three Rivers because it's where three rivers come together, they converge. And back before Choke Canyon Reservoir existed, they said that there were rolling hills that were pretty steep, forming valleys where the reservoir now sits. And where the rivers would come through about 4 miles and converge together about 4 miles west, I think they say, of Three Rivers, they would kind of choke together as they would enter that mini canyon, as they called it. And so when they built the reservoir, that area, those valleys, filled in, and so the Choke Canyon name comes from the rivers choking together, going into kind of a mini valley, if you might say, that is now part of the reservoir. So that's why you don't see a canyon here. Now that's the story that seems to make the most sense of all the ones that we've heard, the different theories. But if you're a local and you've got another story on why Choke Canyon State Park and Choke Canyon Reservoir has the name Choke Canyon, we'd love to hear it. Please leave us a comment. I'm also going to, as we always do, put together a full visitor guide for this park on our website, rvtexasyall.com. If you'd like to see all of the details on the park, things we forgot to mention in the video, pictures and all of that, I'll link that in the description and in the comments. Until next time, y'all, safe travels and happy camping. Bye.